Good morning, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. I'm super glad that you're here this morning. If you're joining here for the first time, my name is Tyler. I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures, and we're going to have a good time today. We're going to learn some things. We're going to share my daily trading bias. We're going to be giving you a front row seat to all the action. We're going to talk about order flow, all the stuff that you need really to be profitable as a day trader. That's what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a good time. If you're watching this after the live stream, you can jump to the key moments using the chapter markers below. And then lastly, if you are looking to take your trading to the next level, you can use the code DTJ and you can get up to 80% off using that code. I'll have that linked in the chat for you to use. Other than that, let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then let's get started. Father, we just honor you this morning. Thank you for the opportunity we have to sit here as traders to trade. Lord, I just pray for your blessing, for your protection, for your favor. Father, I pray that the lessons that we learn, Father, we would learn quickly. Father, that we would apply them quickly. And Father, we would use wisdom. Lord, we honor you in our trading. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, folks. Good morning. Hopefully you're having a good day today. We're going to start by taking a look at what we have here going on. The market's been selling off here since up here. I was not sitting in front of I feel like this is the story every day. I was not sitting in front of my computer, and we have this beautiful setup right there. Nice breaker. I was taking my kids to school. Would I have liked to participate in this? 100%. We did a nice turtle soup sweep of liquidity. We displaced lower. We came back up into my breaker, and we sold off down to the new day opening gap. So there's our tag of the new day opening gap. It is eaten away our opening range gap quite significantly from where it was earlier this morning. But we still have, it's still a large amount. We're still looking at roughly 50 to 60 handles we have for opening range gap. We'll see where that is. This is a dynamic box until 9:30, which is in 12 minutes. But we're going to see what the market wants to do here. To be honest with you, I would say I'm more bullish than anything. I would like us to run these equal highs from yesterday. All of this, we have a daily fair value gap, we have equal highs, we have Asia highs, and we have the previous day high. All that looks really attractive. So a sell-off before the market opens kind of makes sense to me. This red line is equilibrium of yesterday's range. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure that's from yesterday. So that's not range, that's the previous day EQ. And that's that green line right here. That's previous day equilibrium, and we're above it. So to be honest, if we stay above it, we should be bullish. If we get below it and we find resistance at it, we may see lower prices. So we are at the new day opening gap here, the high, here's the low, here is midnight open. We've marked all of those. I've marked my London low. I have a hourly order block right here. And then I have equilibrium of this range sitting here. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Alkai. Good morning, good morning. I'm I'm a bit on protection mode here moving forward for probably the rest of the week. You guys have seen some consecutive losses, so I'm a little bit on a losing streak that needs to stop. And so we're going to do everything we can to make sure that happens. We're looking at only the best setups. Going to be very patient. Trade only our model. Juan, good morning. And see what the market gives us. I'm not a fan of taking the 930 model now that we've ran midnight open, new day opening gap low or high. I'm really not a fan of that. Market had a nice sell-off here. There was an opportunity for an inversion. An inversion setup right there to take it down to these lows. It'd have been about 35 handles or so. From a higher time frame perspective, if we look at the 4-hour, we have the 4-hour right here. We have a giant wick on this 4-hour candle. It's sitting just above the breaker. We have a sweep of liquidity. Yeah, I would say I'm overall bullish. We'll see how the market wants to open here this morning. These are the kind of candles you got to make sure you don't get too excited about. Can't do anything about those. See how I basically erased everything right there? We don't want to mess around with that. Corey, good morning. Husband said you are good to learn with. Well, say thanks to your husband. Appreciate you joining, hanging out with us this morning. We will do what we can to teach, and as many questions as you guys want to ask, I will answer them. That's the nice thing about not having a gigantic stream. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want a huge stream where there's, thousands of people on stream. But until then, I'm able to answer significantly more questions and be more personable to those that are inside the stream. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Right now we are waiting for opening price here in 3 minutes. Let's see what the market wants to do. I'm really liking the rejection right here of this order block. We came lower, came up into it, and sold off here. I may not be opposed to a 930 model, which we could take, or I could take in those inside the Discord. I haven't taught the 930 model. I'm not gonna teach it anytime soon right now. It's something that I've shared inside of the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, which is my day trading course, and it teaches you that it has about a 70% win rate. It's not any way to get rich, but it does give you that, scratches that itch of becoming profitable on a single model. Man, I really don't like how we just keep pushing lower before. So, T-Loft, good morning. If you guys are appreciating so far the commentary, I know it's early, but hit the like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. We got 1 more minute till market opens. Let's see what we got. This is still a good size. You just follow the model. This whole section here is our new day opening gap from this low to this high. All right, the 930 model did play out. That was nice. All right, so now that we got opening price, let's go ahead and mark our 930 opening price. I always like to know where 930 is at. Okay. So I really want to I want price to find support here. I want price to find support here. Maybe reach down to the new day opening gap. And if it's going to do that, we'll see if it wants to consolidate or if it wants to reverse. But I am bullish, and I am looking for a long to take all the way up here. I mean, as you can imagine, that's a lot of points. That's 250 points. So we don't need to get all that. We just need to get a sliver. All we want is a sliver. Now, if you think that this is just going to rocket higher, don't get manipulated. Do not fall for the trap. It's a juicy trap. I mean, it looks lucrative. It looks delicious. It looks like it just wants to explode. Just wants to just move higher. And it may do that. But I can't tell you how many times I've been burned. Epic burns. Burns that remain. So completely retraced all of this price action. We're looking for our first gap. That's what we're looking for, is our first presented fair value gap. Look at that. And then it just disappeared all. This is why. It looked nice. It said, hey, I'm going to go higher. Come on, join me. Don't you want to go with me? Nope. Because it just would have destroyed your position. I mean, that's 30 handles, folks. I mean, there's 30 handles in these 3 candles. Forget that crap. Nope. All right, what do we got for lower prices here? Let's switch from electronic trading hours to regular trading hours. Oh, don't tell me you froze here. All right, so here's our regular trading hours. All right, so this is yesterday's price action. We have equal lows down here from yesterday. So that could be of interest if it wants to continue lower. That's the wrong one. Ultimately, I don't want it to run lower. But if we're going to start, if we're going to lose the new day opening gap, which is this level right here, if we're going to lose that, then we're looking at this area down here. Because that is our PM session low. What we would call the PM session low. So now that we got that marked, and we got AM session high, or PM session high is sitting right here. So we can also mark PM session high if we wanted. It would be previous day, PM, session, high. So let's go back to electronic trading hours. And this would be our previous day, PM session, high. So we filled in our opening range gap. That is now filled. This opening range gap is now closed. We'll leave that there so we can just reference where price is at. But we're looking to see if the bodies of these candles want to close below the new day opening gap. For those that don't know what the new day opening gap is, scroll back all the way to 6 p.m. from yesterday, and you'll see this gap right here. This is the beginning, this is the end of yesterday's trading day, and this is the beginning of today's trading day, and it gives us a gap. That is the new day opening gap. So until we get some displacement and we get a fair value gap, we aren't doing anything. I'm not going to do anything. I will wait. Also, update on my small account challenge. I'm going to change my rules. I'm going to modify my small account challenge rules. Still going to do a, if I have a loss, it's still a one and done trade. But if I have a win, I'm going to allow myself to take a second trade. I feel like the pressure of allowing only one trade has caused hesitation. It's caused me to be impulsive, feeling like I'm missing moves. And so I want to eliminate that. So ideally, I want to take one trade, but I'm going to allow a second trade if the first trade is a win. If the first trade is a loss, then it hits my stop loss 10 to 20 handles and I will be done for the day. But we need to make some modifications. And this is just analyzing, and this is what you should be doing, analyzing your trading. What's going on with your trading? What's going on with your situation? And what do you need to make? What modifications do you need to make? All right, so we have a disgustingly, if we drop down to the 15 second, you'll see a breaker. Do you guys see that breaker right here? Low, high, lower, low. There's your breaker. And it looks like we're going to get our displacement. So the 930 price, a retag of 930 is technically our breaker. And I'm not opposed to taking that at all. Looking at the 5 minute, we still have a minute and a half. 930 price is still going to be our change in state of delivery. So really what we're waiting for is price to come back down to 930 to move higher. That's kind of what we're looking for. Ideally after this candle closes, this 5 minute candle closes. So we just ran the previous session high. Institutional order flow entry drill. It didn't come all the way down, unfortunately. I'm not going to chase. It didn't hit our target, so we don't take a trade. I'm looking for support somewhere around 930. It could reach all the way down to the new day opening gap high, but I would say for me, I would like it to be 930. That's where I'll use for my entry, at least. So I currently have a limit order set. Here's my limit order I'm going to take if it gets down there. And I'll move this if I have to. I'm probably going to have to stretch this out just a hair. Oh, don't. Come on. It better not miss me. ES did not come down to that level. Oh, that's just like messing with ticks here. I just don't want it to fall through. All right, I'm going to take this off here and let it see if it runs lower. I'm going to see how low it wants to run, because it's just too close for me to assume it's just going to do a nice little tiny little wick. But I'm sitting here ready to execute. All right. Uh, 42 to 22. Let's see if that holds. No, it did not. I don't regret taking that trade. No. I don't. It's my model and it's how I want to trade. So, unfortunately, it didn't work out for us. Good morning, Guttenberg. We do have our first presented fair value gap, which was right here, Tony. Just that retracement, just disappointing. Because it also gave us our 5-minute. We have our 5-minute displacement candle. Yeah, it gave me everything that I wanted. Everything that I wanted. It looked obvious to me. I mean, this looked obvious to me. So, that's why I took it. But now we sit and wait. We sit and we wait. Sit and wait. What caused candle bodies to fluctuate? Is it the orders being filled for each time segment? What causes candle bodies to fluctuate? I don't understand what you're saying. What causes price to move up and down? It's an algorithm. It's an algorithm that is designed to fluctuate and move price to generate liquidity. The primary goal of the algorithm is to generate liquidity. And it generates liquidity by moving in patterns that create people false hope of support and resistance and causes people to jump into trades. Okay, I'm watching this fair value gap right here. I want to treat this as an inversion fair value gap. From a 15-minute perspective, still bearish. We swept liquidity down here. Let's look at ES here. ES did not sweep its low. So we do have a MST on ES and NQ. Is it trading above the trend line now? But that doesn't mean it will hold. No, we don't do trend lines. So we do have an SMT down here with ES, which is a good sign for a reversal. I may have just been too early. We have news at 10 o'clock. I think that's a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have taken this trade here, and I should have waited for 10 o'clock news. Unless something obvious. This, to me, it wasn't the most obvious. I mean, it stood out to me. Like, I will take this inversion once we close above it, as long as we don't run this high right here. And I'll move my stop to break even. But it looks as if we're waiting till 10 o'clock to break out. So that would have been my mistake. Taking a trade before news drops. It's not, it's only orange folder news at 10 o'clock, but all right, I just took this trade. Let's see if it goes or if it stops me out. We need to drop down because the close of the trade is below the inversion, which is right here. Close below that is the close of the trade. Stop will be moved to break even as soon as we hit this high right here. So this is down here a ways just to give myself some wicking room. I will close it as soon as that candle closes below. 6 seconds. Okay, so that failed. 2 trades in a row. Not good. Yeah, we closed above. Close below. It's just the rules. It is the rules. Guys, I did re-enter this when it closed back above. My stop's at break even. Came back and stopped me at break even. It didn't quite give me 20 handles there. It almost gave me 20 handles. But I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the price action. What's the point of analysis if, like you said, the algorithm determines price? Because due to the algorithm, it's predictable. Now, I haven't shown you predictable. I've told you that price was going to run this way. What I failed to do was my timing. We got in on what I wanted to be a breaker, and we pushed past that. Did we run this low? No. But my entry was here, and I wasn't willing to hold for a 42 handle loss. So I got stopped out. I could have let this trade play lower and get in, towards the bottom here, but that's not part of my model. It's not part of my strategy that I trade. And the strategy and the model that I use is repeatable. It shows up in price all the time. For example, look at right here. This is my model to a T. High, low, higher high, sweep of liquidity. That's a turtle soup. Then we break lower. We run the low of this breaker. And then this candle wicks back up into it at 844. This is our short right there. We would go short right there and capitalize on that move lower. That is my model. That showed up right here in a ugly way. Low, high, lower low. And we broke above it right here. It looked nice on the 15-second chart. Here was the low, high, lower low. We broke above it. And I was looking for support right here to move higher. And it didn't. It ran lower. Came all the way back down. Didn't take out that low. And then moved higher. We just hit a breaker right here pretty nicely. And we just had an inversion on the next candle. So I took a long right there. This will be my last trade. We'll see if it holds. $32 is the high. It's 10 o'clock, so I'm hoping for an expansion right here. Wow. That was disappointing. Guys, today's not my day. Today has not been my day. And it's probably going to run in my favor. Target is long towards 21,447. I mean, 100%. Target is up here. How we get in it and participate in it has been extremely frustrating this morning for me. We've had 3 stop outs. 3. All moving in the direction that I want to go. Just extremely irritated. This trade still is valid. That trade actually played out. But this candle here flashed down to my stop loss I had sitting down here and stopped me out. I mean, I'm not going to not have a stop loss. I'm going to set it down here in case we get something like that and it just, runs all the way down. But this one wicked it and then stopped me out, found support in the inversion, and ran the highs. So that trade there, 17 handles, 17 points for a win. The trade worked out. The candles were, the wicks are what stopped me out. What do we do? The other one, what was the other one we did? We went long right here. We went long right here. Stopped us out. Immediately went back into the trade. Almost gave us 20 handles and then came back down and stopped us out again at break even for that one. So it's not the kind of price action I was hoping for. It's more high resistance. A lot of back and forth, even though it's more of the execution on my end. And I have to figure out better execution. We will sit and wait and see if anything else changes here, but we're kind of going back and forth. I basically just closed my accounts, and I had one evaluation account that I'm willing to trade, but we're gonna sit here and be patient. If I'm not willing to take any more trades on my personal or funded accounts. Slightly embarrassing to deal with being in a losing streak in front of other people. But I know it happens to everybody, but still it sucks. And I just have to manage my risk appropriately. Reduce my size, get out of the funk. Oh, I want to go long, trust me. No, that's not it. Yes, just swept the highs. Thanks, Charis. So did NQ. Look at this move down, and then look at this move. Look at this low resistance move and this high resistance move. I would say 90% of my losses come in environments like this. Easily. 90% of my losses come in environments where it has price action like this. Now, this trade right here, I wouldn't have known that we're in this environment. So we got stopped out on that one. This long right here, again, we wouldn't have known that we were in high resistance. Maybe because of this, we could have made that determination. But my target was not very far away. It was right there. Wonder what the 2-minute looked like. The 2-minute would have the 2-minute wouldn't have been an option for a trade. 2-minute did not play out. So 2-minute wasn't clean either. Just not the best price action. Charis, I'm on the same page for the long. I just can't, I'm not going long right here. If anything, I'll do one of these. Have it come back down to this level right here. It's not gonna, it doesn't need to come back down to all this. This is efficiently and overly delivered. So if we can get a move like this, that might be of interest to me. Maybe we get that retracement at this breaker. So if we run into the breaker, come back down, find support somewhere around here, and then I'll look for a long. Do you think the NVIDIA earnings are going to be good or bad, Alki? All right, so there's the breaker. I missed my tag to play that rejection there. Let's see if it gives it to us. Immediate rebalance, or excuse me, institutional order flow entry drill. Here's our first presented fair value gap from yesterday. I want to see if this pushes any lower here. If it doesn't, I'll close it quickly. $8.25, 5-minute breaker. Comes out to be right around that wick. We'll wait to see if it gives us some type of retracement. Yeah, I like that right there. There's the retracement that I wanted. I don't know anything about the NVIDIA earnings. I don't do anything with it. Charis, what time frame do you primarily trade? Again, early on my entry. 4 hour. Yeah, I just didn't learn the 4 hour time. I didn't learn to trade off the 4 hour time frame. I mean, you can. I know it's possible. I see other people do it all the time. Here's the breaker. That we highlighted earlier for the continuation higher. I don't like longing after big moves either. It's tough. But this is where I think we see that breaker. I think we can see the continuation from right here. Discount is way down here. I don't like taking trades at around 10:30, so I'm not going to take this. $15-minute breaker looked really nice, didn't it? I just had my breaker anchored too low. I should have went and anchored it based on the 15-minute time frame, not the 5 or 1 minute. If I am becoming if I have a growing preference, my growing preference is the 15-minute. There's the breaker right here, a high, low, higher, high. Also a bullish order block, and this is a bearish order block. And so our breaker would be anchored to the low of that down close candle. And just look how it reacted to it. Beautiful entry. Beautiful, beautiful not entry, but beautiful structure to see how it reacts to it. Good displacement. That 100 handles it's given us. We came down into that, Tony. Do you see that? That was nice. Where did the 5-minute? 5-minute closed way down there. Nice job, Em. Way to go. $15 till the next macro time. And see if it stays below this order block right there. If it doesn't, I will close the trade. I'm treating this as a breaker and a bearish order block to see if it wants to reach for this liquidity right down here. Hey. Stop is moved to break even. Didn't quite run that low there. Could get stopped out here. Stopped out. That's the worst feeling right there. Is it came back to my break even, stopped me out, and then now has it looks as if it wants to run lower. '20 SMA is hailing the pullback, and we are above the VWAP. Maybe I need to go back to taking my 10 handles and getting out. I've been pushing myself to take trades for 20, 30, 40 handles, so I don't take it when it hits 10. Maybe I need to do that. You can be profitable on just 10 handles. Here's a breaker right here. Should we try it? See how it wants to react? See if it gives us 10 handles reaction. All right, so there's 10 handles. But then I go for my 10 handles and then it gives me 30, almost 40 handles. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You're seeing a Tyler right now that's a little confused and needs to get out of a funk. That's the Tyler you're seeing right now. So we excuse me, I got gunk in my throat. We're seeing we just closed below this inversion right here. I'm not interested in going short with that. But every time we've hit these breaks, Adzi, I just read your comment. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think the deflated is not my start of the trading day. It's after the loss, because everybody goes through some type of losing streak. I'm currently in one. And it's not fun. I've been in them before. I've gotten out of them many times before. I would say that since I've been doing live streams, it's probably happened 2 or 3 times of being in some type of losing streak. This one, I think just because I've had it 2 times before or 3 times before, and I know that I can trade, has just worn a little bit differently. I think that's part of it, but I know that I can trade too. So that's why I hate seeing. Should I have not taken this trade? I don't know. I don't know. Let's get rid of some of these lines. Why don't we, huh? We're staying above the midpoint of yesterday's price range. So it tells me we're still bullish. There's no doubt that we are bullish. It's just how we're delivering that makes it frustrating. Same here, my friend. I was up 1,600 on my live funded, literally lost nonstop for 2 days. Like yesterday when you missed that short, you could have had it all back. Oh yeah, one trade can do it. You could have had it 3 times. Got stopped out 3 times. Yep. You know, it's humbling even as a trader, as an educator, when you go through times like this. It's humbling. The market will humble anybody. It doesn't care who you are. Doesn't care who you are. Failed swing lower. Develop, which is bullish. Oh yeah, I'm bullish. I'm bullish. Let's see. We're at 9:40. We're at 10:45 right now. I wouldn't mind looking at a manipulation leg like this with a move like that that gives us an inversion to the upside. $10.50 your time. I'm in the UK. Yeah, 3:50 macro. So 3:50 p.m. I guess it has to be p.m. Yeah, you're about 7 hours ahead. Right. No, Fijo, I'm right there with you. I was increasing my profit target. I'm working on increasing because I've become very comfortable just taking 10 handles. But when a majority of my trades that I take for 10 handles run for 40, 50, 60 handles, it tells me that I'm just cutting myself short by not stretching that uncomfortable feeling of letting the trade play out. So that's what I've been working on. And it has helped me tremendously in some degrees. On my small account challenge, I saw my account from $500 go to almost $900 in 3 or 4 trades because I took trades and I didn't just take it at 10, 20 handles. I held it. I held it for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 handles and let the trade actually play out. On the other hand, it's hurt me because I'll get stopped out at break even, or I don't move my stop to break even and then I take a loss. So it's identifying, for me, it's identifying the market that we're currently in. So like today, it took me all morning to figure this out, but this morning for me is a take my 10 handles and get out day because of the gyrations we're seeing in price. If I took this trade right here, if I took that trade, I wouldn't have sold it at 10 handles. I would have wanted, because of how it is not gyrating, it's just nice and low resistance, I would have wanted to take that entry right here and sell it down here, or at least to this low. That would have been 50 handles. So the reason why I'm talking to myself, guys, at this point, you know, I know you're on the stream with me, guys, but I'm talking to myself right now. The goal is being able to identify the market, the current day's order flow and what it looks like. Is it high resistant order flow? Is it low resistant order flow? Is it the market that says take your money and get out? Or is it the market where it's take your trade and hold it till it hits target? And that only happens in time as I sit in front of the markets over and over again. At some point, it's going to click in my head sooner. It clicks in my head, but it takes a minute, that when I see price action doing this and I see big candles, big wicks, that if it's not smooth and it's going and they have deep retracements, then I need to be considering just taking 10 handles and getting out, taking 10, 20 handles and getting out, just cutting the trade altogether. When I see nice smooth markets like this, let me give you another example on not pre-market, but let me give you an example of. Here's another example. Nice smooth price action. You're in the trade here. I would have held this for all the way down here, but you didn't know that you're going to experience this until after you're in the trade, right? Here we get some gyration, no trade opportunity, and it eventually falls. It was what, right here, I think? Right here was another opportunity. This is all pre-market. It's just been nice pre-market plays. High, low, higher, high. We break lower. Entry. You're in the trade. You hold for this low here. It hits. That's 42 handles, 32 handles. And you take your money and you hold for those targets because the market structure is showing you that it can. When we get to environments like this, my goal is to identify it sooner. That I just need to take my scalp, my 10, 20 handle scalp, and get out. We're at 10:51. Smooth tops here. We have an inversion right here. Breaker has been holding since we hit that breaker right here. 5 minute. 15 minute. We have an order block, so bullish. 60 minute. We need to close in 7 minutes above this for that to happen. Nothing here grabs my attention that says it's time to take a trade. The first 15 minutes was very self-explanatory where, I'm assuming you're saying where the market was going to do, or what the market was going to do. If you read the first 3 candles, 5 minutes was a clear bullish. So are you talking look at the 5-minute chart? We'll do that. We can do that. Well, let's see what happens here. We have a small bullet breaker right here based on it running this lows, a sweep of liquidity right here. I like this sweep of liquidity. And if it closes above for an inversion, we have to be careful on those. I don't always like taking the last inversion to the high. All right, first 3 candles. This was the first 3 candles here. Just remember that we had some resistance down here. So, Fijo, I agree with you. I took this long. I saw this and I took the long. I took the long right when we came down into this order block. This is where my long was. I went long right here. And I set my stop for 20 handles, which was right there. So I went long here, and I got stopped out there because of this wick. So I agree with you. I was already bullish because we had a key level hit. I was bullish. I'm on the same page as you. It's my execution on not wanting to take a 42 handle loss. 43 handle loss. I was bullish at this point. 1, 2, 3. 3 candles. I knew where we were going. I knew we were going higher. I took 3 trades, 3 stops out, and all of them were bullish. So, yes, I mean, this is the right analysis, especially when you put on the lipstick and you see that we have the monthly opening price, we have our new day opening gap filled, we have our opening range gap filled. We're sitting at the previous day's equilibrium to find support at. We're going to move higher. It was just this candle right here messed us up. Messed me up personally. That is the issue. So I had the right analysis, right idea, right direction. It was simply the execution. We don't want to take anything in this, guys. That is disgusting. We're not going to take anything in this. So we had the right idea behind our entry. It was this candle right here, 941, that just slapped me in the face. Like, I don't regret, that's why I'm saying I don't regret taking my long here. The only scenario is reduce my price, or reduce from 5 contracts, go 1 contract and set a 40 plus handle stop loss. I don't think I want to do that. Now, I went and I looked at ICT's execution. He went long down here. And what I can't figure out is the confidence he has to go long here. That's what I haven't figured out. Your stop loss is very tight because it is based on lower time frames, which is the best opportunity for IPDA to take advantage of traders. Yeah, but everything that I do is based on ICT's concepts. So I'm not going to take I mean, if I was doing the 4-hour time frame, yeah, I could have had a larger stop loss, did 1 micro, played it from here, ran to this high for 139 points and made, $300. Yeah, I could have done that. But my style is in between scalping and day trading. And I've seen too many entries, too many times of trades like this right here that just are beautiful, where it grabs the level. I mean, and then it moves in this direction. I can show you several examples even today, this morning. This right here is a perfect example. You go to the 15-minute time frame. We run into this order block right here, breaker. How far do we run past that breaker? Get down into it. How far do we run past this breaker? We run 1.75 tick. So basically we run 7 ticks past that breaker. I can be precise because I've seen it happen so often. This is an example of it. It just didn't work out here. Now, was it a very clear setup? No, that's the only thing I'm regretting, is it wasn't clear. It wasn't clean. So because it wasn't clean, I think I answered my own question. I have my answer. Thank you for letting me talk this out. Cyrus, I appreciate your comments. Fijo, thank you for your comments because I'm able to verbally process and I am a verbal processor. The answer is, I shouldn't have taken this trade because it wasn't clean. It was messy. And if price action is messy, I need to expect price to run past my levels and not make it clean. Now, this entry up here would have been clean. Why? Go to the 15-minute chart. This is a clean, this is clean. High, low, higher, high. You can't get cleaner than that. Breaks lower. It breaks lower. You can't get cleaner than this. So when it hits that level, we can reasonably assume it's going to act as a breaker in our favor. All right, let's see what the market's doing. All right, we just closed above that inversion. Let's see if it wicks down. If it gets back down into here, I'll take a long because I like it. I want it to go deeper. Yeah, it did touch it barely. Dang it. Right now, nothing is clean, brother. I had bad weeks too. Yes, nothing's clean. Nice trade that played out. Inversion. Again, I was talking and doing a rant. I wanted to come just a little bit deeper. Hit our target. That would have been from, if I took that to this high, 15 handles. Did it right at 11 o'clock. So let's see if this is a swing high put in right at the top of the hour. If it's going to just do this gyration back and forth and slowly move its way. This is a new 5-minute candle. Oh yeah, I review every single trade. I take that back. I don't think I review every single trade. I think that's idealistic. I would love that. But the primary ones that I take that are my model, yes, 100%. Take care, my friend. Hey, good to see you, Ted. God bless. This is 9:30. Is it going to act as a point? Hang on a second. We're going to fill this opening range gap. Our targets are right there. All right. I have a new target. I just need to find my entry. Do I want to take it off of this order block? I think I do. Did it give me? Did it take my entry? I just clicked it. I don't want to re-click it if it's took my entry. I don't think it took my entry. I'm gonna let that come back down in here. I'm not gonna. I wanted to see it expand. It didn't. So we will wait for it to come back down into here, and I'll take my long inside this. Looks like we might miss it. I got my target. My targets are here. We got our opening range gap sitting right here that hasn't been filled either. I can't go long just right here. I have to wait for a retracement into this. Have you blown any funded accounts, Tyler? If so, what made you improve not to blow them? Yes, I've blown them. In the drawdown that I, in this losing streak, I did blow an account. Just this week. And when I go back and I analyze my trades, just any trades that I've taken, one was a mistake. There was a double click, and it wasn't on. It was after stream. I accidentally double clicked and got me in double the position, and it moved against me. But that was just on top of having a consistent set of losses. So reducing size is what I've done, as well as literally writing down everything that I know I shouldn't be doing. Following my rules, not taking impulsive trades, waiting for your setup. All of those collectively, it's not one big thing. It's the collective of all the small things that you should be doing. Having the right mindset. Sitting down in your chair with the preparing for battle, so to speak. It's not nonchalantly that we should be clicking the candle or the mouse. It's analyzing the setups, giving yourself proper time to analyze the market, higher time frame analysis to know where price could be moving. Then it's managing your risk appropriately. All these things collectively, as a trader, will help you improve, will help you improve yourself. So, yeah, I've blown accounts. And it's not fun. And it reminds me I'm not where I want to be. Really does. It reminds me I'm not where I want to be, and it's going to take some work to get there. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's good to know. All right, let's see if we can get down just a hair bit. What size do you trade with, Cyrus? One micro, and your win rate's 90%? Well, congrats, man. That's awesome. This is probably the first trade I feel somewhat confident about. And it could it could still go against me. Isn't that the truth? Technically, I should be at the low of this candle right here for a proper stop loss. That's just, that would be a 20 handle stop loss. No, I'm going long right now. Inside this fair value gap, it's what I wanted. Have a nice order block. We got a bullish breaker. Well, not a bullish breaker. But we have a higher time frame. We have a draw on liquidity to the upside. Opening range gap that hasn't been filled yet. We got the new day opening gap from yesterday that's sitting right here. So this is what I'm looking for my draw to be. 62, that'd be a 62 handle trade. If it doesn't stop me out. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back, folks. Let's see if we can get some expansion. That would be nice. There's the 5-minute right there. Retagged it. That would be long if you wanted to go long there. I was hoping it was going to stay open. We're green, but it's let's see, start at 500. I got up to 800. We're back in the high fives right now. And something happened. So we just got to identify it. I think the pressure of taking one trade and knowing that has been very difficult. So still trying to figure out the balance for that. So I changed the rule today. Just happened to be a loss for today. So that if I have a winning trade, I allow myself to take a second trade. But if I have a single loss, I'm done on the day. Folks, we're going to call it a day there. Unfortunately, not the best trading day. A lot of high resistance, very difficult price action. Overall, I'd say disappointed in some of the executions earlier today. Not surprised that we just get wicked out on some of these trades at the same time. So we'll be back here again tomorrow morning, praying for a bit of better price action for tomorrow. So God bless, guys. Stay safe. And we'll see you all tomorrow. God bless.